Well, hey there, Farm Wife friends. So good to see all of you here today. I'm so excited to see you. And if you are new because you're here as part of the collaboration Christmas in July, welcome. So good to have you here. Make sure that you go ahead and push that subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. That way the algorithm will let you know. That way you get notified for any future videos on all the creative things I do around here. My name is Angela. I'm the Inquisitive Farm Wife. And I'm crazy, and you never know what I'm going to do. Not crazy as in a bad way. Crazy as in I love to try new things, and I love to bring all of you with me on all these adventures, and we can learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to. Or you can make mistakes with me. I'd love that too. Okay, here we are getting sidetracked again. I'd like to thank our host, Jenny Goff, over at Jenny's Scratch-Made Kitchen for hosting this collaboration and inviting me. I wasn't really sure about what I might do or share when she invited me. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to be making some 4th of July cookies. I'm going to share with all of you things that come Christmas time when you're making sugar cookies, you're thinking about tips and tricks on what you can do to make life a little bit easier and things that maybe you could be doing and buying now. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite products that I have, that I use, so that you can prepare yourself now when things go on sale, or you can buy them to gift to others. Because I'll talk to you a little bit about when I buy things out of season to save money for when I need them. So that is what basically today's video is going to be about. Products, tips and tricks, and all the things in between. So speaking of products, I have used this mat for many, many years. I got it off of Amazon and I really like it. You can use it. I roll out all my sugar cookies. Those of you who are new here don't know that I have, in every fall, I make a lot, like hundreds, a lot of big jumbo sugar cookies that I sell at a local pumpkin patch. And so I've always used this flat mat because it is so much easier to clean and it helps to use less flour. And if I think of it, I'll put the link to this in the description box below for my Amazon account. I was approached by Nutrimil to check out their new mat. Can you hear that? Oh, wow. It sticks so nice. So here it is. It comes in 2 different sizes. I chose to try out the large one because I make a lot of cookies at a time. And watch this. It sticks to the surface. It is super flat. I'm so very impressed with this. I am actually really in love with this. This one today, we might try using it in a different way. And so I'm not going to get rid of this just yet, but I want to tell you a little bit more about this. There is measurement equivalent things on here and tips and things, and you could still do your pie crust and you could still make your squares. It's got it in centimeters and inches so that you can use it to be precise and accurate with all your baking needs. But one of the things, other than the fact that it is so grippy, which is so good, I'm anxious to see over time how this wears, but having to roll out cookies or pastries and have this thing slip around is a pain. Sometimes people tell you to put a wet paper towel under it, and that's helpful, but you don't get your flat surface. And that's why I have this stainless steel table, is so I have a nice flat surface to work on. The thing that I like the most about this that I've never seen on any other baking mats like this is a lip. It has a lip all the way around. So when I'm working with flour, I tend to make a mess with it. So with this other one, it is perfectly flat to the surface that I put it on. However, I find that, see now look, I can work out any little bubbles. My flour was going everywhere. So now I can have my little bowl of flour, because I do like to have just a little bit of flour to put on the bottom of the surface, or maybe on my cookie cutter, maybe on the rolling pin. Oh, speaking of rolling pin, I got this nifty rolling pin that I absolutely love. You can completely take this out, and again, I'll try to remember to leave a link, but I'm not always so good about that. You can roll it flat, just like this, or you can put these inserts in there, and they have different colors and sizes to make different thicknesses of whatever you're making. Well, I'm going to go with, I believe, the 1/4 inch. I think 1/4 inch is a really nice size cookie, especially if you're going to go ahead and decorate it, which today I'm hoping to put a bunch of frosting and sprinkles and all the fun stuff on it. So I think a 1/4 inch is very appropriate. But this doesn't roll off anymore because of the lip, which I absolutely love. The cookie cutter we're using today is a star, and I thought that was super appropriate because I personally am getting ready to make these for 4th of July celebration. However, I actually purchased it at Christmas time. Can you believe that? And got it at a discount. So I encourage you that after holidays, check out sales to see what you might have that you could buy now and use later, or gift later. You can see I've had it a while and I keep shoving it in places so it doesn't look as pretty like to gift. But can you imagine having one of these in a basket with maybe some, if you bought one for yourself and then one to gift, you could make a small batch of cookies, and then you could put the cookie cutter in there, maybe a recipe card with your favorite sugar cookie dough recipe, maybe a mitt or something like that, or some utensils that you might use to frost. You could get super creative and spend as little or as much as you want. And I thought I'd share that little idea with you. So my favorite cookie cutters are the Wilton cookie cutters, and you can find them typically at just about any of your box stores. I found lots at Walmart and things like that, but I also will get them online too. I like the ones with the plastic grip, especially if you're going to make a lot. It's just really nice and handy, and if you can get them on a discount, why not go ahead and get the higher quality product? In my opinion, that's what it is. So I've got my cookie cutter, I've got my flour, I've got my rolling pin. Now all we need is some cookie dough. Well, I thought I had a video on how to make my favorite sugar cookie dough recipe, and I did not. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Maybe that should be a future video. Let me know. Everybody kind of has their own favorite. Some of them use sour cream. Some of them just use butter. And, there's just so many wonderful recipes out there. If you have a favorite sugar cookie recipe, I would love for you to share it with me down below. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to what I had done is I had made this up ahead of time, and I have it nice and cold. I put it in the refrigerator. You can put it in the freezer and bring it back out. Just put it in the refrigerator to thaw. And so that's a little tidbit tip for you to prepare for your holiday baking. Okay, so you saw that I put a little bit of flour down there, a little bit on top, but you don't want to add too much flour because flour can actually cause the consistency of this to change, and it will even cause it to maybe spread out, and we're wanting to get a nice sharp shape. Now you see what I did here. You can do this with parchment paper, you can do this with wax paper, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this mat and see if I can't use it to do like you would a pie crust and have your two different surfaces. And that helps cut back with the amount of flour that you need. And because this is so flat and thin, I can still use this, which has guides. So this is the thickness it'll be, and it'll be nice and even. And I wasn't sure if this was going to work or not, but it seems to be working beautifully. So I'm just going to roll this out, trying to work quickly because the trick here is we don't want our dough to warm up. Now, I do love this thing, but I have found with lots and lots of use, and I put a ton of pressure on it, it doesn't always, the ends sometimes pop off. So you got to be checking and making sure you've got those twisted in good. Your dough can only go out so wide and so far because of that also. You can see I've cut some of this off, but that's okay. We'll save any of the extras. You can actually roll out your dough up to 3 times without major issues. So now that I think I've got that nice and even, we will test this out. Looky there, it did. It came right off. There is a little stickiness of dough on there. Move this off to the side for right now. You can see I'm in the cookie making mood. I do think I want to sprinkle just a little bit of flour on there. Just tiniest amount, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to put my cookie cutter into my flour, and then I'm going to cut my shapes as close to each other as I possibly can so that we can use as much of this dough as we can at one time. Now, if you want a nice thick cookie, you can absolutely make this whatever size thickness you want. 1/4 inch just kind of it's kind of a standard. And now over here I have stacked cookie sheets. I bought these at Sam's Club. They're really good. I've had super good success with them. The quality's there. My cookies don't become overburnt. And what I do is I have these off of Amazon, these Silpat mats, and they really do help with bottom burning also. So I'm going to go along, pick up my cookie. I can tell it's already gotten warm. So I'm going to go ahead and put as many cookies as I can on this sheet because we're not going to bake right away. I don't even have my oven preheating yet. Right now, all I'm wanting to do is cut out these cookies. Sometimes you accidentally mess it up. That's okay. No worries. Get creative with yourself and fix any little mistakes you think you accidentally made. It's hot in here today, so I know this dough. I probably should have put this in the refrigerator while I was cutting this out. That's another little trick for you, is to only get out a little bit of dough at a time. Gather all this dough up, and one more time I can roll this out. You know, cooking making it's kind of an art. To me, making cookies is, you know, creativity and love. So now that my sheet is full, if I was not going to bake these today, I'm going to bake them, you know, I'm going to let them chill at least 30 minutes to an hour. But if I thought I was going to bake them maybe the next day or even, you know, 6 or 8 hours later, I would put saran wrap on here and put it in the fridge. But I have a pretty much empty fridge, and so I can just slide these in there. I don't have to worry about cross odors. You know what I mean by that? In the refrigerator, sometimes there's some things that just, like onions and stuff, that'll have an odor, and you don't want that. Well, I don't have anything like that in this refrigerator, so I'm just going to put this on the shelf and let it chill. And then we'll be back together after I bake them. So I'm just going to bake them maybe 7 minutes. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it, bake it the way you want, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about some of my favorite decorating things. Oh, and obviously I'm only going to put, you know, half, maybe a third of the amount of cookies on here when I go to bake it. This is just so that it can chill. So you'll need, you know, I'll have a few of these in the refrigerator, and then I'll have a few of them that aren't, and we'll separate it all out before I bake it in the oven. Okay, we're back. I wanted to show you the cookies have been baked. I was able to get 8 per sheet if you're curious. And I don't think I'm going to take the time to like actually set and decorate with you at this video, because I actually do have a video on how I do like a cheater's frosting and decorating some of my sugar cookies I've done in the past. So we really don't need to do that, but I just want to share a few more little tips. I told you I'd come back and share with you a few things that you can think about. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I got this frosting in red, white, and blue. And they're not as big as your regular tub of frosting. And so if you're just making small batches, this works really, really good. And if you want to know about the trick I do to make this frosting even better, then go watch that video. But I wanted to tell you that you should start looking for things like, you might see I've got some clearance stickers on this red and blue gel. You can look at the expiration and see how far out they are, and you can use them for other things. So when you think of these colors, I want you to think now, here we are at 4th of July, and I'm getting ready for Prime Day. By the time this video comes out, it'll be over, but you can catch the idea of when you go to the store and you check out the sales aisle, think outside the box. So this red and blue absolutely can be used. Right now, I'm going to use for 4th of July. But if I get just a generic blue, think about baby showers. Maybe you're celebrating Hanukkah. The red could be for Christmas. It could be for Valentine's. It could be for 4th of July. The same thing with like your yellow and your silvers. So when you get these staples for your kitchen for when you're going to be making sugar cookies, go ahead and grab things while they're on sale. Check the expiration date. Sometimes they're even years out. So you could theoretically buy it now for next year, as long as it's within expiration, and make sure you're storing things in the proper temperatures and things like that. But I kind of wanted to get the point across where, get your red at Valentine's Day thinking about 4th of July coming up. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed some of the tips. Oh, one more thing. Something else that you can definitely buy in advance. I bought this off of Amazon just recently, but get yourself some packaging and you can make things look so cute for when you want to give a gift. It makes it so special. So take the time to add a little bit of extra touch, and those are those things that you absolutely can buy way well in advance. Catch those clearances while you can. So I hope you have enjoyed this video that wasn't really necessarily on how to make cookies, but how I like to save money and plan ahead for my baking for the holidays. Bye for now, friends. We'll see you next time right here on The Inquisitive Farm Wife.